Hey fam, how are you? If you haven't seen part one of this series, go check that out first. We cover the first five pillars, the first five foundational pillars. So check that out first. You can check it out up here. And then once you do that, come back and check out this, as this is part two. And you'll probably notice my background is a bit different. I'm actually dressed a little bit different. I'm actually on vacation. I'm in Thailand right now. So you might see the difference, and you might hear some motorcycles going by. This is a very scooter friendly culture. And so things will be a little bit different in this video, but I still hope you enjoy it because the information in here is quite important for what we are dealing with in this day. And in this episode, we'll go in a bit deeper into the pillars that actually pull everything together. That's unity, that's narrative power, economic strength, education, and one of the most important ones, radical compassion. So this is section 6, reclaiming the narrative. For too long, others outside of our community have been telling this story about the Black narrative for too long. But we need to reclaim our narrative. We need to be the ones who tell our story. And that can be through podcasts. It can be through radio stations. It can be through YouTube channels. It can be through various different platforms. It can be through collecting art. It can be through collecting our books that are banned as well as those that are not. But we need to start telling our story and stop allowing others to do so for us. And that includes education in a lot of ways. And we'll unpack that a little bit more later. We must control our narrative. We have to tell our stories, our true joys, our true successes, our true struggles. We have to tell it, and not through the eyes of stereotypes. And let's be honest, controlling your narrative is as important as controlling your economic power. Without it, people just don't know about who you are, and they forget about the past. And that means they can't build for the future. So we have to control our narrative. It's paramount. For example, I've seen where churches come together with individual members as well as the churches, where they're supporting the national museums, African-American museums. They are collecting artifacts and showcasing them within their church. They are talking about our stories. We have to do the same thing. We have to control our narrative collectively, and nationally as well as globally. But I've seen the churches do it, so other churches need to do it as well and join in, as well as African-American nonprofits. We have to control our narrative. And this is the kind of solidarity that we come together when our stories are being attacked. We come together versus just one or two or in different parts of the country. But as a unified voice, when we are under attack, we can come together and say, this is our story. This is what happened. This is the truth. And that's what we need to be able to do. And we can only do that collectively as a group with one voice. And this brings us to section 7. And this is about interorganizational unity. Unity isn't just about agreeing. It's about linking arms and resources, coming together as one voice, as support for one another. Too many of us often today work in silos. We're doing our best work, we're doing good work, but we're not communicating and collaborating with ourselves. And we need to do that. That gives us all more power. Too many times we're competing for the microphone or for resources or for grants. We should be writing the grants together, doing a collective growth in our community, not in the silos. Because I've seen it, when Black churches and Black nonprofits come together and collaborate, we're unstoppable. And we just need to do that more. We need to be much more intentional about finding out, what are they doing down the street? What's our family doing down the street? And are we doing something similar? Can we do it together? Can we write the grant together? Foundations and individual donors love when nonprofits collaborate to do one thing or two things or whatever. But as long as they're coming together, collaborate. That's what we need to do. Unity. And as a personal example, I've seen this happen time and time again to great success. I remember one time we received a huge grant from a family trust. The son came down and visited the nonprofit, gave us $100,000. And, I was talking to him. We were walking back to the parking lot. I was walking him to his car. And before he got in, something flashed in my head. And I know another school, a feeder school to our school, they needed resources as well. And so I said to him, hey, are you all looking to support other nonprofits similar to us? He said, yes, as a matter of fact, we are. I said, well, I have another nonprofit that's, less than, 10 minutes away from us. They're doing great work. He went over there. He funded them for $60,000 in a matter of 10 days. It's, that's what we need to do. We need to be looking out for each other. We need to be bringing things together. As soon as we find something that's incredible, let's tell our neighbors, tell our community, hey, check this out. Or better, make an introduction to them, for them, and connect them to the great work that's being done by your neighbor and link arms and come together. That's when we're unstoppable. That's when we can do anything. Another massive example was during COVID. We were linked to 37 other schools. It was a network of schools. And we were struggling because it was COVID and, everybody was going through it. But we came together as a collective. We met almost every week at the beginning and we talked about our challenges. We talked about, but we started talking about our successes as well. And myself and the New York school had put together an idea of writing or asking for a big gift, huge gift, where we were asking each of our donors to give double their largest gift, including foundations. And we put it together. In fact, I got my biggest donor to help me write it, to be honest with you. And we ended up succeeding. We ended up, instead of raising, I think it was like 2.5, maybe 3 million that year. We ended up raising $7 million at our one little school. And the reason I'm telling you the story is New York ended up raising, I believe, 2 million more than they normally raised. But the other 37 schools, we sent them our proposal that we put together that my donor helped us write. And they took our name off, put their name on, moved some things around. We ended up raising more money than in the history of that network that year during COVID by a landslide, by I think like 50% more. So come together with your community, look for common needs that you can work together and go to supporters together. You'll be surprised at how effective and efficient that is. You just have to play nice. Now, this brings us to Section 8, Economic Development through Entrepreneurship. Economic power in the African American community starts with ownership. And Black churches and Black nonprofits within the United States can help do this by incubating entrepreneurship, mentoring young entrepreneurs, as well as investing in ventures that circulate dollars in our community. That's where it starts. But we have to start. We have to create a fertile ground for ownership of our own businesses and economic development. We have to start it. We can work with Black banks, Black credit unions to help us with this, but we can do this. Black nonprofits can help us with this. We can do this together. Personal example is one of my clients, the Emory Fellowship in Washington, D.C. They have an economic development within their Beacon Center where they help entrepreneurs have an incubator, grow, write business plans, give them advice, help them with loans, everything that you need. Talk to them about marketing, bringing in experts to help them. They're creating massive change in Washington, D.C. And if more of us did that, what would we be like? We would be our own economic, educational, judicial, political. We could run ourselves the way that we want. We could be who we are with less distractions from others. And this type of work is needed within this political environment. We have to rely on ourselves. And one of the big pillars, as I'm talking about right now, is economic development. And the way you do that is starts with sponsoring entrepreneurship and making sure that there's ownership within our community. Now, this brings us to our quick quiz, and it is a multiple choice. What's the goal of community-based entrepreneurship? A, compete with local businesses. B, build a sustaining ecosystem. Or C, depend on outside investors. Leave your answers in the comments below. Now, I'm going to tell you the answer, and the answer is obviously B. We need to build a self-sustaining, ecosystem. And that's the goal. Now, this takes us to section 9, which is educational autonomy. I love this section. Our children deserve an education that is both honest, also paints them in a positive light because they're positive, and it's got to be rooted in truth. And too long, we've let others tell our narrative and actually rely on them, as well as educate our children. And that's not necessary because it's not effective. We need to take control of educating our youths. And we can do that with our own schools, our after school programs. We can do it with Saturday classes. We can do it with in conjunction with other programs that are in the community, Boys and Girls Clubs, other churches. But we need to educate our own children on our history, our successes, our truth, where we're going and how we're going to do that, our spirituality, our cultural differences, and things to be proud of. We have to build leaders that have critical thinking, that can talk about what's actually happening with confidence of who they are, and not so much with imposter syndrome, which is what plagues our community so much. So we have to take control of our education, and we have to have autonomy to do that. And we can't rely on the government to tell our story. We have to tell our story and stop relying on them. Because when young people learn who they are, what they're capable of, where they're going, that they're supported by a community and surrounded by other individuals like them, you better get out of their way. And that's what I want us to create. I want us to create an educational a community that's autonomous, that we don't rely on anybody else to tell our story. That's what I want. And finally, it takes us to our final pillar, pillar 10. And this is about radical compassion. Radical compassion. And a radical compassion means that we are the safety net for those that are within our community, our African American community. It means being there for those that are often forgotten, thrown away, and discounted. Individuals that are poor, individuals that are incarcerated, individuals that are unhoused, individuals that are undereducated. We have to be there for our people. We have to stop relying on other people. We have to do it ourselves. And for churches, that looks like food ministries. That looks like housing ministry. That looks like after school programs. That looks like mental health programs. It looks like all sorts of things that our community needs. We need to come together, again, collectively with other churches and other nonprofits and support our community. Don't rely on anyone else. Support our community. That's when we change things. We don't rely on anyone else to do it, but we do it. That's what we have to target. That's what we need to do. And as a personal example, one of our clients, he used to be one of our clients, he's my friend in Houston. He's retired, or rewired, I should say, from St. John's downtown, a United Methodist Church in Houston. And you've never seen radical compassion like you have with Pastor Ree Ramos. It's his compassion is so vast, so deep, and so radical. He will help anyone in need. I mean, this individual and his wife, they've created one of the largest food banks. I shouldn't say banks, but feeders for those that are in need of food. I mean, just serving thousands and thousands of meals in Houston. And when people didn't have a place to sleep early on, they opened their doors and those came in to sleep on the pews in the church. This is radical compassion. He has built, I believe, 2 housing projects there for affordable housing. It's incredible what he's doing there. He and his wife, I keep saying him, but it's his wife as well. radical compassion for our people. And he doesn't do it alone. He works with the food banks there. He works with other agencies to help sure that people don't slip through the cracks. There is massive collaboration there. But he has radical compassion for our community and those in need. And that's what we all need to do. Wow, we covered quite a bit. And I think it was important, this last 5 pillars of how to sort of come together under this administration for what our community needs from the African American church and the African American nonprofit. And these are the things we covered today. We covered, reclaiming, our story. We talked about unity. We talked about economics through entrepreneurship. We talked about the autonomous educational system that we need to put together. And we also talked about radical compassion. That's what we have to use to bring ourselves together, to collectively take control of our community and point it in the direction that we want to as a group without relying on anyone to do it. It's not going to be easy, but we can do this. And I hope this inspires you to do this. I truly do. And I hope you liked this video. And if you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you like it and ring the bell so you are alerted every time a new video comes out. But most importantly, I hope you share this video with individuals that you feel like it can help. And I really hope you spread these videos out a little bit more than you did the others. So I used to ask you to please share this with 2 of your colleagues. Let's share it with 4 this time around, because this is something we really need to push forward. And we need to start at least having these discussions. That's the minimum. And then it can take place. So let's share this video with at least 4 people that you feel that it can move and get us going in the right direction. Thank you for that. I would really appreciate that. And check out this video next, because it will also give you some insight on fundraising. And if you don't know who I am, again, my name is Paul Hosh, and I am the CEO of Nonprofit Fundraising Management, where we help Black ministries and nonprofits thrive through modern fundraising. We help them with building systems so that they can be successful in giving back to our community. That's our focus. So make sure you check out this video later and share them. And if you have any questions, please respond in the comments. I would try to get to as many of them as possible. And I'm going to actually get back to my vacation. My college friend and roommate, he just sent me a text saying, hey, meet me for breakfast. So I'm getting ready to jump in the shower and do that. And I will see you the following week. Take care of yourself. Be well. And remember, we can do anything together. Anything.